Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony, and I'm the host of TheLostSanctuary. And I am currently an accountant that has been in the industry for a little over 9 years. I am also a licensed CPA in New York. And today I'm actually going to talk about a segment called Am I the Bad Person? So for this segment, I actually went on Reddit and I actually just checked a few users' comments and a few questions that they had. And I am actually going to go over 5 questions today about some Reddit posts that some users posted. So let's go straight into the first one. So the first question is, am I the bad person for refusing to call my friend's baby by their legal name? So up here, we're going to be posting the question right here. And so this, just to give you a little more information about this story. So the person suffered actually PTSD from a certain verb or a certain word that funny enough, the baby was named after. So something that people usually should understand is that, PTSD or any trauma that someone has is actually not their fault. Is actually is a combination of many things that they built upon in their life. And it's really just family experiences, friends experiences, teachers experiences, mentors. It's a combination of many things that, it's not a good idea to just fault someone for having PTSD or for having, trauma. So it's important to understand that. So in my eyes, the story was basically that, this individual couldn't call the baby by their name. And, it really spoke to me because, I sometimes myself suffer from this as well with certain traumas that I've had in my own life. And, it takes time for people to heal. It's not something that's overnight, that it's something that really takes this time to really get through. And, it's not an easy thing overall. And I'm I definitely feel for the person. And just to confirm my understanding, I feel like you are not a bad person. I just want to let you know that. So you are a good person and you're just getting through some trauma that you've gone through. And I'm glad that, based on the post, that you were actually trying to, still connect with the person without triggering your PTSD that you need to actually do, get through yourself. So I'm really appreciative of that. And, Godspeed. And I wish you all the best to this user. And yeah, so I hope that, you can get through your trauma. Just take it one step at a time. It's not something that's easy to get through. I'm still recovering myself from traumas that I have myself from growing up. So yeah, keep trucking on and many blessings to you. So the next question is actually, am I the bad person for not paying off my girlfriend's debt? So this segment is actually pretty interesting because it actually talks through about a user who actually is, has a well-paying job. And, they have a girlfriend who actually, decided to take out a loan for a very expensive car. It's a Tesla, funny enough. So they actually took out a Tesla. It was around $70,000 that they took. It was a Tesla. And the thing that I just want to talk about is that, the thing about lifestyle inflation, it's real. Lifestyle inflation is a thing where the more money you earn, the more likely you are to spend your money. Which I know sounds pretty crazy, and it sounds like, made up, but it's true. As we earn more income and earn more money, we tend to want more expensive things, and it's very easy to fall into that trap. And I falling into myself where, as I earn more money, then maybe I'll go out and buy more organic groceries. I'll buy I'll buy better eggs. I'll buy little things that bring a little bit more enjoyment in my life. But it's good to keep things in measured. So don't just because you earn $10,000 to $20,000 more dollars doesn't mean you should get into a car that's $70,000 to $100,000. Definitely if you're in a Toyota Camry that maybe costs you $5,000, definitely think about, okay, maybe I'm ready for a $15,000, $20,000 car. Even if you're making another $30,000 or $40,000, because something that I truly value in myself as I earn more money is that I think about my future and think about, hey, I don't want to be spending money willy-nilly, because you want to make sure you start investing more, you start actually getting your money to work for you. So it's important to understand, before you make a large purchase like this for a Tesla that we were talking about, that you actually think about the repercussions of that. So I just want to say that I'm gonna also say for this person that they are not the bad person for, not wanting to pay off the debt because they realize that money is not really easy to earn. It is not easy to get. So it's not something that you should just be frivolously just like, tossing away for purchases like this. And definitely it does serve as a life lesson for his girlfriend, hopefully, that, they shouldn't stretch themselves more than what they can. So it's important to understand that and really to realize that it's not just about, really making the money, but also being smart with your money. So that's my response. And I hope, and I wish this user all the best as well as they go through this experience. So the next segment is actually called, Am I the Bad Person for Refusing to Sell My Car to My Socially Shy Niece? So this is a very interesting story and actually touched my heart quite a bit. So this one actually goes into something that I feel like sometimes parents tend to do, and I've experienced it myself, and it's not something that's necessarily bad, but it is important to understand that as our kids grow, they're not our little babies anymore, which I think is something very hard for sometimes even parents to acknowledge. That, especially as if our kids are a little shy, I think it's important to understand that it's not just about, their growth as people, but also their growth out into the world. Because the worst thing you can do is just kind of leave your kid out, kind of seeing you as a crutch and someone who, you have to rely on your parents or rely on people to get your own things done. So the story actually touched my heart quite a bit because it talked about a socially socially awkward niece, someone who's shy, very shy, and then basically their uncle who basically was trying to, had an extra car. So he bought a new car, he had an extra one. And, they really wanted the car for, the parents of the niece actually wanted to actually, buy the car for her. But throughout the whole process, it was actually the parents negotiating everything, kind of talking through, just saying like, hey, like, we want this car for her. And the thing about it is that, like, I've been in situations myself where, like, for example, when I got into my first car, funny enough, it was a Honda CR-V. I actually wanted a Toyota Highlander. Like, that was the car I wanted. It was the car that I dreamed of. Like, and because I'm a big family, I'm very family oriented, and I like having big cars because I want to seat 7-8 people, and I want us to all enjoy company, enjoy each other's company. So, yeah, so I could totally feel the pain of, like, not just the uncle but also the niece, where, basically he wanted her to make the decision of like, hey, is this really the car you want? Or is this like maybe you want something else, or like something that more fits your personality? So I think it's definitely important to let kids come out of their shell and really talk about the things that they actually want to talk about. So I think this topic was very, like, touched my heart quite a bit because it's something that I myself have gone through. So I just want to say to that Reddit user that Reddit user that from this question that, you are not the bad person, and I truly respect you from the bottom of my heart for what you did for your niece, and I hope that she starts to come out of her shell, and that you've also, like, been able to, trade in your car and make the right, kind of get where you need to go. So I appreciate that, and God blessings. So the next post actually is, am I the bad guy for blowing up at my wife for spending our life savings? So this is a very interesting one. It's a very interesting story. So this story is actually about a husband who actually had to fly in some family. They had to get a visa, and then the wife kind of sadly spent roughly 80% of their savings, and it wasn't the best. But what I'm gonna say here is that definitely when people get married, and I've seen this for example with my own sister when she got married, I think it's very important to set boundaries with your family. And just, I know it sounds pretty terrible to say, but you really have to set boundaries because you don't want people to take advantage of you. So one thing that, especially like your nest egg and your life savings, these are things that sometimes takes you years to accumulate. It takes you sometimes it could take you 8 years, 10 years, 20 years. This is a nest egg that you and your wife and your family has basically fought for. You've worked your butt off, and this is not something that you can just like throw away like that. This is something that you yourself need to actually cherish, and it's something that, for example, like you need to use for what you want to use it for, because it's your nest egg, and it's really something like, if you want to help your family, that's acceptable, but don't put yourself, in a position where, like, if you have an emergency, like your car broke down, you need to pay your house, God forbid you lost your job. It's important to have life savings and to have an emergency fund, because the peace of mind is worth millions. And I'm just telling this from someone who has his own nest egg for things like that, where if God forbid I ever lost my job, then I would actually, be able to at least survive for a couple of months. Because, with sometimes in the economy, things aren't so great, and you want to be able to make sure that, you have, enough funds to support your family through whatever you need to. So that I understand, and I understand the sentiment of the husband for what he did. And, I just want to say that you are not the bad person for this one. And to be honest, like, so none of us are really bad people. I just want to say that none of us are really bad people. It's really important to look at the lens, like look at it from outwardly, and just really understand what people are going through. Just be empathetic and really understand that it's not easy sometimes, and it's sometimes, like, the struggles and the suffering that other people go through, it's easily missed. And I just want to say thank you for what for what you posted, and it really touched me as well. So yes, I'll now move on to the last one for this video. So the last one for this video is, am I the bad person for expecting my girlfriend to pay for bills while she's not working? So this is an interesting one that I actually liked quite a bit, where basically we have a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they're living together, and the girlfriend actually goes on a trip for a month or two to see her parents. And overall, like, I understand where it's important to meet with family, because I'm very family oriented, and I try to make time for my family when I can, especially when I'm not working, because to me, family is precious to me, very, very precious to me. And the reason I say that is because you never know how long your family is going to be, so it's important to visit them, important to connect with them, important to really understand that it's not just about, like, the money, the grind, but it's really about connecting with your family. And that's why this post really touched me, where, the girlfriend was wanting to see, her parents. And I think the only thing about the post that, was kind of difficult is that, like, the only issue is that, the person to see their parents, they do make sacrifices where they leave their job, and then they decide, to not to work for that time period. And I understand that that's important, but at the same time, it's important to understand that you have your own household as well to manage. So what I mean by that is that you have your own household in the sense that you have to make sure that your own household is in a good place before you can then, actually go and travel, do things. And I know it's important. Family is incredibly important, and I will never deny that. But what you need to understand as well is that you can't put your own family, your own immediate family, which is in this case your girlfriend, your boyfriend, at risk, not being able to pay the bills. And that's something that I myself sometimes struggle with, being like the kind of the sole earner in my house, where if at one point I ever get a girlfriend as well, I will make sure that hopefully, if we are a team and we're kind of doing things together, hopefully we make a plan of attack if she does need to leave her job, and that we have enough a nest egg to continue to cover expenses without putting too much pressure on me, for example. So I'm going to say for this last post as well that that you are not the bad person for this one as well. So this will conclude episode 1 of this series. So definitely you can check us out at our website, which is right here, and then of course look at our socials down here. And of course, always leave your comments. I do appreciate the comments. I do appreciate, just people kind of reaching out to me, kind of telling me their thoughts and anything they want me to improve on in the videos. I'm relatively new to YouTube as well, so this is all. I've only shot a couple of videos, so definitely I just want people to just really let me know if there's anything in particular they want me to talk about, any issues that they're going through. I always make sure to give you my blessing and give you whatever I can and address as many comments as I can. So I really appreciate everyone's time today on episode 1 of this Reddit thread one that I just did. And I immensely appreciate all of your time, and thank you for watching this video. And yeah, feel free to give the video a like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and I'm wishing you guys all the best. Adios.